Okay, good morning. Happy Admin Professionals Day. Lots of good stuff going on. Back at it. Almost missed my first cue, having been off a couple of days. Getting back into here. Wait, like, how do I do this again? What's happening? What buttons do I push? Who am I? Where am I? You sleep in for a couple of days. And then you kind of go back to, oh yeah, it's time to get up early. It's time to do the things. So here we go, back at it. Learning apparently how to do all this again. And what do we got coming up here? Fox Business Report, weather, and had some time to think about some stuff and think about maybe some new segments here. We'll see what happens. Maybe some good news segments. Also exercise. Here's your movement tip of the week. Stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Had some fun. Had anniversary. 19 years being married. Crazy to think it's that long. Went by. It's cliche to say, but it went by just like that. Here's to many more. Okay, I got a minute. Minute to coming back here. What am I doing? Good for weather. Oh, it's supposed to rain? What? It's supposed to rain on Friday? Wow. Okay. Who's going to be the first one to shout out coming back here? Loomis. Mostly cloudy right now. Looking for a high today of 70 degrees. Right now, 52 degrees. All right, there we go.
Increase fuel economy
Extreme.
9% with Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme. The solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy.
Okay.
Whether you're driving a sports car or a daily commuter, Gasoline Extreme is specially formulated with Don't settle for average.
I haven't had to get up early for 5 days. Crazy.
Order now on Amazon or hotshotsecret.com.
Powered by science.
Powered by science.
And good Wednesday morning to you. Wednesday, April 24th, 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Hey, good morning to you, Loomis. Mostly cloudy right now. Looking for a high today of 70 degrees. Right now, it is 52 degrees where you're at. And right now, we're going to turn it over to the Fox Business Report. This is the Fox Business Report. Okay. Okay. Pull up. Community events. What's going on? I think we'll talk about the soup and chili night. Farmers Marketplace, 195 M.
Learn the signs at sandyhookpromise.org.
16 minutes past the top of the hour. Taking a look at the calendar, what's coming up. Here's what you need to know about. Soup and Chili Night, it is back. It is almost here, May 1st. Can you believe it's almost May? My goodness gracious. Yeah, we've got another Soup and Chili Night the first Wednesday of every month. Where is it happening? That's happening at the Farmers Marketplace. That's at 195 Elm Avenue. Again, that's going to be on May 1st from 4 to 7 p.m. Chef Steve is back from Chili Smith, and they'll be serving up a homemade seasonal soup and chili, including gluten-free and vegan options. More information, you can check out thefarmersmarketplace.com, or you can call 916-390-7628. Now, the meal includes a bowl of your choice. Again, soup, chili, seasonal soup, chili. Also includes bread and a beverage, all for $10. Are you kidding me? That is a fantastic price for you. Again, first Wednesday of every month, Soup and Chili Night is going to be at 195 Elm Avenue here in Auburn, the Farmers Marketplace. That's going to be from 4 to 7 p.m. It's on May 1st. Chef Steve coming back with soup and chili. There's going to be vegan and gluten-free options. More information, you can go to thefarmersmarketplace.com or call 916-390-7628. Back with more right after this. That was good. That was good. Okay, we'll talk about the rodeo that's happening this weekend. Lots of stuff going on. Sports ball. Gracious sakes. Placer County Supervisor Jim Holmes coming in at 7:45.
And this is Cindy from the Garden Goddesses. Thanks for being a loyal listener, and please join us every Saturday morning from 8 to 9
inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. What's coming up next? Sports ball, 6:30. Yes.
Absolutely. So join us every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 right here on the Voice of the Bed.
18 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, sports ball. That's right. Let's get back into it. The NBA there in the playoffs. Also MLB. The season has started. All the things are happening. Back with more at the bottom of the hour. Back now to America's First News. I'll see you right after this. And it's light outside, so I get to open up the blinds, but it's cloudy. That's okay. All right. So I'm going to try a new thing where I'm not going to record the news. I'm just going to read it live and then see if the live recording will be enough. We'll find out. Because normally I record the news during... So it'll be a little bit of an experiment today. During the breaks now, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go off and practice the news. I'm going to record the news. But might try a different thing. Might try not doing that and just see if I can grab the recording from the live read. The thing is, the live read isn't always the best. I kind of need to practice it a couple times. Maybe I'll practice it and then take it from the live read. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, sports ball coming up. I should probably have something local ready. Let me go find the paper.
We don't know how many. There are reports that some of them had their hands tied, which of course indicates serious violations of international human rights law and international humanitarian law. And these need to be subjected to further investigations.
U.S. State Department spokesperson Vendit Patel called the reports of mass graves at hospitals incredibly troubling. He said U.S. officials have asked the Israeli government for information. The Israeli military said its forces exhumed bodies that Palestinians burned earlier as part of its search for the remains of hostages captured by Hamas during its October 7th attack that triggered the war. The military said bodies were examined in a respectful manner, and those not belonging to the Israeli hostages were returned to their place. About $26 billion of the $95 billion foreign aid package the Senate passed overnight will support Israel and provide humanitarian relief.
All right, what do we got here?
He's dedicated to replenishing Israel's missiles.
The 8th Placer High School Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be held Saturday, April 27th in the school's iconic Earl Crab Gym. Pre-ceremony reception begins at 6 p.m., followed by the induction ceremony at 7 p.m. Being inducted are multiple sport athlete Jim Yokota, football and track star Terry Spivey, speedway racer Bart Bast, skier Seth McAdam, and volleyball stalwart Corey Reichs, the 1971 through 72 wrestling team and women's volleyball coach. 1971 through 72 wrestling team and women's volleyball coach Jennifer Wright will also be inducted. Yeah, let's do that.
In facilitating assistance.
Yokota, Terry Spivey, Bart Bast, skier Seth McAdam, 1992, volleyball stalwart Corey Reichs, 2007, and the 1971-72 wrestling team and women's volleyball coach Jennifer Wright will also be inducted. Yeah, let's do that today. We'll talk about that. All right.
Former French Minister of Foreign Affairs Catherine Colonna.
Great. Now the thing also, the A's are playing.
That Iraq plays an indispensable and irreplaceable role.
What's today? Today is the 24th.
And this must be
New York Yankees,
Yes.
4:05 p.m.
Actually, you probably have a more developed system than other UN organizations.
How much time do I have? That's 7 minutes. Enough time to make a copy of the schedule.
Environment, complex and difficult situation in which they operate, and the uniqueness of their mission. There's always room for improvement, and some issues related to neutrality persist. This is why this mission was created.
Israel stood by its allegations following the report calling it flawed. The Israel-Hamas war was sparked by the unprecedented October 7th raid into southern Israel, in which Hamas militants killed around 1,200 people and abducted around 250 hostages. Israel said militants are still holding around 100 hostages and the remains of more than 30 others. Veteran tabloid publisher David Pecker testified Tuesday. He pledged to be Donald Trump's eyes and ears during the 2016 presidential campaign, recounting how he promised the then candidate he would help suppress harmful stories and even arrange to purchase the silence of a doorman. Prosecutors say the secret handshake illegally influenced the election. He acquired stories that smeared Trump's opponents and leveraged his connections to suppress stories, including Stormy Daniels' claim of an affair. Pecker's testimony Tuesday followed a hearing earlier in the day in which prosecutors urged Judge Juan Merchan to hold Trump in contempt and fine him $1,000 for each of 10 social media posts that they said violated an earlier gag order, barring attacks on witnesses, jurors, and others involved in the case.
I'm not allowed to talk to people who are allowed to talk about me. So they can talk about me, they can say whatever they want, they can lie, but I'm not allowed to say anything. I just have to sit back and look at my conflicted judges for me to have a paper. I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like this. I'd love to talk to you people. I'd love to say everything that's on my mind, but I'm restricted because I have a gag order. And by the way, this trial is all Biden. This is all Biden, just in case anybody has any question. And they're keeping me in a courtroom that's freezing, by the way, in a courtroom all day long. Well, he's out campaigning. And I'm here in the courtroom, sitting here, sitting up as straight as I can all day long. Because you know what? It's a very unfair situation.
Trump, in fact, is allowed to defend himself. He's just not allowed to disparage or threaten individuals involved in the case. And the case is actually from the Southern District of New York, not the Justice Department. Trump's 34 felony counts arise from reimbursements that prosecutors say Trump's company made to Michael Cohen for hush money payments, and that were falsely recorded as legal expenses. Republican Senator Mitt Romney didn't pull any punches when asked about the case.
Made their own assessment of President Trump's character, and so far as I know, you don't pay someone $130,000 not to have sex with you.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, got a copy of the schedule for the A's.
He's repeatedly denied any wrongdoing.
So today, New York Yankees, radio start time 3:25. All right, so all this has already taken place.
It gives Beijing-based parent company ByteDance 9 months to sell the company with a possible additional 3 months if a sale is in progress. If it doesn't, TikTok will be banned. FBI Director Christopher Wray told NBC's Lester Holt.
So this is going to take me through June.
For us, manifests itself
Dang.
in 3 specific ways. It has to do with the data. It has to do with the recommendation.
This will last me for a bit.
The software. The data, we're talking about the ability to
Days here on KAHI.
on millions and millions of users and to use it for all sorts
Sports
of
ball.
operations like
Get back in the swing of things. Okay. And
Are they doing that now, or that's simply they have the capability?
what I would say to you is that they are currently attempting to steal our AI and hack American technology every day. When it comes to
Good
TikTok,
morning
we are
news.
concerned very specifically about the risks that
community members file recall paperwork against 2 Auburn Union School District trustees. This is from the Auburn Journal. A recall may be on the horizon for the Auburn Union School District as 35 community members filed intent to recall paperwork last week against trustees Greg Holt and Jason Wedge. The intent to recall filing cited board president Holt and Wedge to be recalled for numerous actions and violations of Auburn Union School District's governance guidelines for actions that are causing harm to students, families, staff, and the wider community, unquote. This is not the first time community members have spoken out against Holt and Wedge. In recent school board meetings, community members, and staff have called for Holt and Wedge to resign. Rocky Whitson, how much time do I have? A minute and a half. A former parent and retired pediatrician said he is part of a loose coalition of concerned community members and parents who have been alarmed by the actions of the majority of the Auburn Union Board of Trustees. When asked for examples, Whitson cited Holt's efforts to try and rescind the district's diversity, equity, and inclusion statement, calling the action, quote, troubling, unquote. He also said Holt's mission to censor fellow trustee Jamie Ross went against direct board governance guidelines. The intent to recall stated, quote, it's time to make changes in the Auburn Union School District Board of Trustees and start to restore the community's trust in what's once an outstanding school system, unquote. In an email to the Auburn Journal on Monday, Wedge responded to the community's efforts defending his time on the board. He cited the district was, quote, in financial crisis and was on the verge of going into receivership, unquote, meaning it would lose all local control. Wedge also defended his decision to nominate Holt as board president, stating he could, quote, best lead the district through our then financial crisis, unquote. The intent to recall was signed by 35 community members residing within the district's boundaries. As part of the recall process, Holt and Wedge may file responses. Ooh. Here we go.
Ask yourself, is anybody really paying attention anymore? Or who's going to let it all just shrink and break? This Uncle Otis, and my pronouns are 22 caliber,
Can't stand this guy.
and 45 caliber. That was cool. I'll see you at the Peace March.
And good Wednesday morning to you. Wednesday, April 24th, 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:30 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Forest Hill. Partly cloudy right now where you're at, looking for a high today of 60 degrees. And right now it is 46 degrees. All right, there is the sports ball music. Let's get right into it as we're starting on the hardwood NBA. We are in the postseason. How's everybody looking out there? Well, you've got the Suns versus the Timberwolves. Timberwolves win that one 105-93. Pacers versus the Bucks. Pacers win that one 125-108. Mavericks versus the Clippers. Mavericks on top there win that one 96-93. Going over to the major leagues right now. Giants versus the Mets. Giants win that one 5-1. Angels versus the Orioles. Angels on top there 7-4. Padres versus the Rockies. Rockies win that one 7-4. Oh, that's interesting. 2 7-4 games. Mariners versus the Rangers. Mariners win that one 4-0. Let's go up. Where are the A's? A's played yesterday. Yankees. A's versus the Yankees. Yankees win that one 4-3. A's and the Yankees play again today. You can hear all of the action here on KAHI today. Radio start time is going to be at 3:25. That's when you can hear all the pregame things, and then the actual game time first pitch is at 4:05 this afternoon. A's versus the Yankees. Start time radio here on the radio is going to be at 3:25. So we got a nice afternoon game going on. A's versus the Yankees. Going local here. What's happening locally? Placer Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony to take place this Saturday, April 27th. The 8th Placer High School Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be held Saturday, April 27th in the school's iconic Earl Crab Gym. A pre-ceremony reception begins at 6 p.m., followed by the induction ceremony at 7. Being inducted are multi-sport athlete Jim Yokota, class of 1950, football and track star Terry Spivey, 1981, speedway racer Bart Bast, 1985, skier Seth McAdam, 1992, and volleyball stalwart Corey Reichs, 2007. The 1971-72 wrestling team and women's volleyball coach Jennifer Wright will also be inducted. So lots of good stuff going on locally here. Placer Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony happening this Saturday, the April 27th. Congratulations to all inductees. Back with your KAHI weather right after this. Forgot to swap that out.
Hey, Bill O'Reilly here.
Oh, well. All right, Timmy, sorry for the lead in. You're up.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, a nice day today. 65 to 70, light southwest winds.
Should I do the Dr. Dahlia?
Light winds in the mid-upper 40s. You'll be in the low 60s with sunshine, a few scattered clouds on Thursday. A weather front coming in Friday with clouds and showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, the high about 60 to 65. But the best news is it'll clear for the weekend. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Hi, this is Dr. Dahlia. Join me for my live call-in medical talk show that answers your questions right here on KAHI. On my show, we tackle issues like cholesterol, diabetes, women's health, children, geriatrics, relationships, and more. And with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on government and politics.
Dr. Dahlia.
Dr. Dahlia.
Dahlia's
from 9 to noon here on the Voice of the Foothills.
Join me each weekday morning right here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have your KAHI news. We'll have your California Ag Report, all of that good stuff. Back to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
In Washington, the Senate passed a $95 billion.
Kapow. All right. There we go. Okay, what's our next segment? That, reset that. Sports ball, taken care of there. Community events. Ooh, what should we do for the community events? We'll do the home show. That'll be coming up. Home show. All right, off to practice the news.
The U.S. will send badly needed air defense weaponry as soon as the legislation is passed. Air Force Major General Pat Ryder.
In general terms, I would say that we would expect to be able to deliver aid within days. Of course, and I will caveat this by saying I don't have anything to announce right now in terms of what that aid could look like. We need to have a law first. But depending on what that aid is, and as you've seen in the past, we provide a variety of aid. Anticipating this, we're doing everything we can moving forward to be able to provide additional security assistance to Ukraine as quickly as possible. So much more to follow in the days ahead. But needless to say, we understand the importance and the urgency and are doing everything we can to be poised to respond quickly.
Meanwhile, the UK Prime Minister said this week the country is putting its defense industry on a war footing by increasing defense spending to 2.5% of GDP by the end of the decade. In pledged to send arms worth £500 million to Ukraine. The target of 2.5% of GDP spending was a pre-commitment of a target set by former Prime Minister Boris Johnson in 2022. Rishi Sunak previously said the goal would be met when economic conditions allow.
But today I'm announcing the biggest strengthening of our national defence for a generation. We will increase defence spending to a new baseline of 2.5% of GDP by 2030. That starts today and rises steadily in each and every year. Over the next 6 years, we'll invest an additional £75 billion in our defence. And it will be fully funded with no increase in borrowing or debt. Today is a landmark moment in the defence of the United Kingdom. This is a generational investment in British security and British prosperity. It makes us safer at home and stronger abroad. Now, we will have 3 immediate priorities for this new investment. First, we will put the UK's own defence industry on a war footing. One of the central lessons of the war in Ukraine is that we need deeper stockpiles of munitions and for industry to be able to replenish them more quickly. So today we're giving £10 million in munitions support to give industry long-term funding certainty, backed by long-term contracts, so that they can produce more, be ready to surge capacity, and to move to always-on production.
A decade ago, NATO leaders agreed to commit 2% of GDP to defense spending. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine has given that effort new urgency. Sunak said that Britain would deploy its Typhoon fighter jets to Poland to help police its skies. Poland, which borders Ukraine, has seen several incursions of its airspace since Russia invaded Ukraine. A Michigan woman was arraigned Tuesday on second-degree murder and other charges after prosecutors say she drunkenly crashed her SUV into a boat club that was hosting a child's birthday party, killing a young brother and sister and injuring several others. Marcella Chichester didn't enter a plea into the 8 counts she faces in Saturday's tragic crash at the Swan Boat Club in Monroe County, about 30 miles south of Detroit.
And is facing 2 life sentences that could run consecutive to other offenses that are involved in this matter. We have ample video evidence showing exactly what happened during this incident.
I operate a vehicle knowing you're taking medicine that drinking will affect it. We were supposed to be planning a birthday party for Zane, not a funeral. She knew it. She shouldn't have done it.
The crash killed 8-year-old Alana Phillips and her 4-year-old brother Zane Phillips. Their mother, Mariah Dodds, and another sibling were among the injured. Defense attorney Bill Coppola said she had only a glass of wine and a bowl of chili 4 hours before the crash, and she had suffered since November with seizures in her legs. Prosecutors told the court that Chichester had substance abuse issues that were corroborated by her friends and family, and no signs of the seizure. Turning to sports this morning, and Pascal Siakam scored 37 points, and Indiana overcame another fantastic first-half performance from Damian Lillard to beat Milwaukee to tie their Eastern Conference first-round playoff series at a game apiece. Tyrese Halliburton was making his first playoff debut in his home state. He says he's looking forward to playing in front of fans in the year. Games 1 and 2 in Milwaukee, taking a parting shot at Bucks fans.
This is my second playoff game, but they always say that playoffs don't start till series don't start till as a road win. So we got that, so I guess it started, and so we're excited to go home, have our fans with us. We expect an unbelievable environment, an environment we haven't seen this whole playoffs, with the noise level and stuff. So we're excited to go home, be in front of such a great crowd. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be unbelievable. No doubt about that. We've had regular season crowds better than what we played in these last 2 games, So we expect a great crowd. A lot of people are excited about what's to come, in the series, and just the energy in the city right now with everything that's going on, but especially with us. So, we're excited to go.
Halliburton said a fan called his younger brother the N-word during Game 1, saying it was important for his family to address it, and his brother handled it the right way. The Bucks organization said Halliburton's family was in the wrong section. As a representative asked the group to move, Halliburton's brother alleged the fan in front of him used a racial slur. The fan denied it. Led by Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, the Dallas Mavericks bounced back to take home court advantage from the LA Clippers and newly returned and rusty Kawhi Leonard. Doncic had 32 points, Irving had 23, and the Mavs won 96-93 Tuesday night to tie their Western Conference first-round playoff series at a game apiece. Doncic on the comeback win.
First game wasn't our best game. So we have to come on here and prove that we can play with them.
You take a lot of criticism for your defense. Tonight it seemed like you were more engaged than ever. What was the mentality and the approach?
Yeah, I mean, the playoffs is different. I'm trying to double with me, I said no double. I take pride in my defense too. They're always going to say that, the haters. But it's fun, man. I'm out here enjoying playing basketball. That's fun, man. That's what I do. That's what I want to do my whole life, so I just enjoy doing that.
Doncic making the comments of TNT's Jared Greenberg. Leonard had 15 points and 7 boards in 35 minutes in his first game since March 31st. He hadn't played or had any contact because of inflammation in a surgically repaired right knee. Game 3 is Friday in Dallas. And Jaden McDaniels had 25 points for a career best in the playoffs and spearheaded another stifling defensive performance by the Timberwolves in a 105-93 win over the Suns to take a 2-0 lead in their first-round series Tuesday night. The Suns again failed to get their high-octane offense in here, scoring less than 100 points in both games. Devin Booker had a team-high 20 points before fouling out late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, my frustration is just, within the team. We need to execute. We play well when we're playing well, and then we need to stick together once things turn bad. Like I said, we've done that throughout the season, so something has to be corrected.
The big three of Booker, Durant, and Bradley Beal combined shot just 18 for 45. Suns coach Frank Vogel on being down 0-2 and losing composure.
They can understand that maybe they missed a couple, okay, and it swings back your way. You try to do the best you can with that, but the group's got to turn their focus to the next play. That's something we talked about before the playoffs even started. If things are going to go wrong in certain stretches, whether it's our offense or defense, foul trouble, the refs, things are going to go wrong. At certain points in the playoffs, and you have to have the next play mindset. You have to execute the next action. You're locked into what's happening next, not what just happened previously. But we got a great team. Okay, and we're showing that throughout stretches we've had our bumps in the road. As we'd expect with a group that's put together in year one. Okay, we've had our bumps in the road. It hasn't been an easy run for us, but through those bumps in the road, we've responded. We've gotten better from that. We played some of our best basketball down the stretch. And first time going through the playoffs. Okay, we're in our sleep. We'll handle it. We'll get better for it. So I'm very confident in what our game's going to look like.
Today's KAHI word of the word of the day is appurtenances.
One other time in franchise history against Denver.
Okay. What are we going to do for the Auburn home show? Let's figure out some.
Logan Webb took 8 strong innings and extended his scoreless streak to a career-high 19 as the Giants beat the Mets 5-1. Webb won his 3rd straight start, striking out 4 and scattering 6 hits with a walk. The 27-year-old recorded 15 ground outs. Reach out to me any.
Let's see. That's a good one. I like that one.
Trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly health care.
Okay, what are we doing here? We're doing that. We're doing
Pretty obvious why.
traffic.
Especially now.
We're actually going to do
with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up.
Good morning, Shingle Springs. Currently 49 degrees right now. Cloudy outside. Looking for a high today of 65 degrees. All right.
Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call,
Okay.
within 2 minutes, maybe now, the perfect time.
Oh,
Start.
my goodness gracious.
Call 855-SHARE 40. That's 855-SHARE.
4 seconds, Adam. And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, April 24th. It is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 6:45 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Colfax. Currently 47 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 62 degrees. All right, let's talk about another event for the calendar. Make sure you've got your pen or pencil, however you mark your calendar, for the Auburn Home Show. The Auburn Home Show is coming May 17th, 18th, and 19th at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. That's going to be Friday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Parking is going to be $8. What are you going to get there at the home show? I'll tell you what, it's going to be a beer and wine garden. You can come and enjoy a glass of premium wine or cold beer. And that's after you've checked out all the beautiful landscaping options, gardening tips, live demos, crafty corners. There's going to be live music. Oh my gosh, the tiny house display. Have you ever seen these tiny house? You need to go and check it out up in the grass field up there at the top of the hill there. It is so cool to go check out all those tiny houses. There's going to be local contractors and live seminars with experts, DIY projects, live demos, home improvement experts, marketplace for local crafts, and live music. Admission is $8, general admission $4 for seniors. Kids are free. Military and first responders are free all weekend. Again, it's going to be happening at the Gold Country Fairgrounds, May 17th, 18th, and 19th. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can find out more at auburnhomeshows.com, auburnhomeshows.com. Get your tickets there as well, auburnhomeshows.com. Back with your KAHI News right after this. Lightning and thunder, thunder, thunder. Appurtenance. 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 See it, hear it, feel it. Feel the thunder. I named them the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder. 13 minutes to the top of the hour. Here is your KAHI News for this Wednesday, April 24th. Community members file recall paperwork against 2 Auburn Union School District trustees. This is from the Auburn Journal. A recall may be on the horizon for the Auburn Union School District as 35 members filed intent to recall paperwork last week against trustees Greg Holt and Jason Wedge. The intent to recall filing cited board president Holt and Wedge be recalled for, quote, numerous actions in violations of Auburn Union School District's governance guidelines and for actions that are causing harm to students, families, staff, and the wider community, unquote. This is not the first time community members have spoken out against Holt and Wedge. In recent school board meetings, parents, community members, and staff have called for Holt and Wedge to resign. Rocky Whitson, a former parent and retired pediatrician, said he is part of a loose coalition of concerned community members and parents who have been alarmed by the actions of the majority of the Auburn Union Board of Trustees. When asked for examples, Whitson cited Holt's efforts to try and rescind the district's diversity, equity, and inclusion statement, calling the action, quote, troubling, unquote. He also said Holt's mission to censure fellow trustee Jamie Ross went against district board governance guidelines. The intent to recall stated, quote, it is time to make changes in the Auburn Union School District Board of Trustees to start to restore the community's trust in what was once an outstanding school system, unquote. In an email to the Auburn Journal last Monday, Wedge responded to the community's efforts defending his time on the board. He cited the district was, quote, in financial crisis and was on the verge of going into receivership, unquote, meaning it would lose all local control. Wedge also defended his decision to nominate Holt as board president, stating, quote, he could best lead the district through our then fiscal crisis, unquote. The intent to recall was signed by 35 community members residing within the district boundaries. As a part of the recall process, Holt and Wedge may file responses to the claims in the intent to recall filing. Eventually, the community members behind the effort will have to gather signatures, 20% of registered voters in the Auburn Union School District attendance area. It's approximately 4,600 signatures of voters who support the question of a recall being on the ballot. If the signatures are collected in time, the recall could go to voters on a future ballot. A request for comment from Holt was not immediately returned to the Auburn Journal before the press deadline last Tuesday. Back with more news right after this. Ooh, nailed that. Appurtenance. Appurtenance, meaning accessory objects. All right. Into that. What was I gonna? Oh, this. Reset. Here we go.
It's time to live better at KAHI Fit at 2514 Bell Road in the Crossroads Shopping Center. Whether your fitness goals are to lose weight, gain weight, functional training, or recovery, they've got you covered with customized training programs, fitness classes, hydro massages, and more. Open 7 days a week with 24/7 access. Stop by CAC Fit at 2514 Bell Road in the Crossroads Shopping Center. Call 530-885-1964 or online at cacfit.com.
Hello, KAHI listeners. This is Ann Hidalgo, your host of Time for Seniors. You might be used to hearing us at 6 a.m. on Saturdays, but we moved to 12 noon. The Time for Seniors is your local senior resource show bringing all the important information concerning seniors. We talk health, financials, medical, keep you updated on current scams, hear inspirational stories, and laugh at ourselves a little. So tune in Saturdays at noon on FM 104.5 and AM 950. KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
Continuing now with your KAHI news, Placer County cities rank amongst safest in California. This is from Fox 40 News. 2 cities in Placer County have ranked among the top 10 safest cities in California, according to a report from SafeWise. Reports found that the cities of Lincoln and Rockland ranked 7th and 9th safest cities, respectively. In 2022, the Lincoln Police Department reported that there were 0.8 violent crimes per 1,000 people and 11.4 property crimes per 1,000 people, according to SafeWise. In the neighboring city of Rockland, reports found that in 2022, there was 1 violent crime per 1,000 people and 16.2 property crimes per 1,000 people, according to SafeWise. And from the Morning Brew, a couple of headlines for you. TikTok ban heads to Biden's desk. The Senate passed a long-awaited $95 billion foreign aid package that would send military assistance to Ukraine and other American allies. The bill also forces a sale of TikTok by its Chinese owner ByteDance, or else face a ban in the U.S. within 270 days. TikTok promised to do all it can to fight the bill, with its head of public policy for the Americas declaring, quote, "This is the beginning, not the end of this long process," unquote. President Biden said he plans to sign the bill into law today and give an address to the American public. X is pivoting to video. The artist formerly known as Twitter launched a video app that is compatible with most smart TVs, the company revealed yesterday. The app will not include ads at launch, but could introduce them in the future, X reportedly told its corporate partners in a note. It includes a YouTube-esque trending algorithm and the ability for users to upload their own videos. The move is part of owner Elon Musk's push to turn X into a, quote, everything app, unquote, as advertisers flee the platform. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. FIFA and Apple are nearing a deal to stream a World Cup-style tournament on Apple TV Plus next year, the New York Times reported. The Supreme Court appears likely to side with Starbucks over the National Labor Relations Board in a case about fired union activists. Kim Kardashian's private equity firm is struggling to raise funds per Axios. The FAA is investigating a near miss involving a Swiss Air jet on a runway at JFK Airport in New York. Voyager 1, the most distant human-made object from Earth, is sending readable data to NASA again after months of relaying space gibberish. And the mythical San Francisco public toilet has finally opened, and it cost a mere $200,000 to construct, not the $1.7 million that citizens were outraged about. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is appurtenance, which means an accessory object or accessory objects. And that is your KAHI news for this Wednesday, April 24th. I'm Chris Quant. On now to the California Ag Report.
California Ag Today. I am Haley Schiff. This is the Ag Information Network. Keep drinking milk. That is the take-home message from the American Farm Bureau Federation.
Okay.
As this year has seen a normal in season, but
normal
unusual
in season
outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza
All right.
among dairy cattle.
We're going to see if those readings are going to be good enough for me just to cut and put into the
Dairy cattle showed up
around 3 weeks ago. Since then, we're at about 30 different dairy premises.
Okay,
going
it is
cases in 8 different
Advair Professionals Week. Fact one. The official recognition day began in 1952 as the National Secretary's Day and renamed to Administrative Professionals Day in 2000. The name better describes the expanding role of the modern office administrator. First certified professional secretary examination was administered in August 1951. There were 281 candidates and 15 examination centers. There are now over 250 examination centers worldwide. More than 22 million secretaries/administrative professionals are part of the U.S. workforce. Administrative professionals are responsible for making important purchasing decisions for their organization, which on average are worth up to $20,000 a year. Overwhelmingly, their career goals are to remain in the administrative professional field, which is great news because we don't know what we do without them.
Anyone? Making aphids disappear from leafy vegetable, coal, or brassica crops is easy with Versus insecticide. Always read and follow label directions. Enhance the quality and marketable yield of your citrus season with the best protection under the sun. Easy to tank mix, formula applied, from Cultiva is proven to improve weight and pharmaceutical health before sun, rain, insects, and other natural stressors cost you lost yields. In recent trials, it's also been shown to strengthen fruit.
In Betty Crocker's Cooking for Kids in 1957, pigs in a blanket are also known as devils on horsebacks, kilted sausages, and wiener wings.
Visit Cultiva.com.
I don't know about that last one. In the United Kingdom, pigs in a blanket are small sausages or chipolatas wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt that this morning. I was getting in the truck. I was driving to work. I was looking around. I'm like, man, the sun is shining.
That is a threat to this country.
I feel the unity.
Clear and present danger.
Weekdays from 1 to 4 on the Voice of the Foothills, FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
There's always a way. For what? Well, to make your life better, happier, more fulfilling, but you need the right tools. Now that's where I come in. Hi, Mary Jane Toth here. That's my goal with Top Talk. In search of truth. I look for all areas of life, in mind, body, and spirit, to add a life force that can change your life. When? Saturday, 5 to 7 a.m., Sunday, 9 to 11 p.m., or 24/7 at KAHI.com. Just click on listen, then audio on demand, and we'll journey together with Top Talk.
Because KAHI cares. Here's another KAHI Community Bulletin Board. You don't have to go to Africa.
Oh, we're just going to make it. This is great.
The Wildlife Care Association offers adventure, challenge, and satisfaction when you volunteer to care for injured birds and small animals. The nonprofit group is offering classes now for volunteers.
All right, do we have anything playing here? Nope.
Wildlife to our communities. Visit wildlifecareassociation.com or call 916-965-WILD and get your adventure going.
Auburn's department store.
Man, we're going to hit it bang on. That's fantastic.
McCullough's carries all the name brand products you're looking for. Right now, you'll find deals on.
Couldn't have timed it better. Love it.
Women's and men's t-shirts by Life is Good, Old Guys Rule, and Laid Back. And men's Hawaiian-made Aloha shirts, just right for the warmer weather. Everything you need is all in one store, right here in Auburn. McCullough's department store in the Auburn Town Center, right off the Elm.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was fun time. There we go.
KAHI Auburn.
And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, April 24th, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour. It is 7 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. Chris Quant with you here, back in the morning after taking a few days off, sitting here in beautiful Studio A, looking into downtown Auburn. A little cloudy outside, gang. We'll check in with meteorologist Tim Root here in just a little bit to find out what our weather's looking like for today and a little bit further into the week. But my goodness gracious, is it good to be back. Starting to wake up now a little bit, having a few days off. I was off on Friday and Monday and Tuesday. I was celebrating 19 years of marriage with my lovely, sweet wife, Emily. We went away for a couple of days, and my goodness gracious, was it great to get away and hang out with each other. Went to the coast and looked at the ocean, stared at the ocean. That is my happy place. I don't know about you. Some people love the ocean. Some people are more mountain people. Whatever you are, I hope that you have a chance to get your forest bath or your ocean waves banging up against your face and just get out there and enjoy some nature here. But my goodness gracious, was it just great to get a little bit out of the routine here and spend some time with each other, just hanging out. And she was her goal. She said, I need a purse. She said, I need a purse I've got my winter purse right now, and it's time to now transition to a spring/summer purse. And she said, I'm not really liking the options that are out there, so I'm going to make my own. So she spent a good part of our time together when we were just spending a lot of time in conversation and just talking about our lives and where we've been and where we're going and crocheting. And we were driving. We spent a couple hours in the car driving to the coast and back. And so she said, my goal is over these next couple of days is to make a purse. Just make a purse. I am amazed by that. She's crocheting it. She's doing little crochet. She was showing me all the loops, and she's like, it's very simple. And she's been doing this. She's like, this and sewing, I've been doing since before I can remember. She said, when I was little, I just bugged my mom so much about sewing that she finally taught me to sew as a 4-year-old. Oh, what? You were in charge of sewing? You were in charge of sharp needles and things as a 4-year-old? She's like, yeah, I just want to do it. I kept bugging my mom about it, apparently. And my mom said, she's like, fine, I'm just going to teach you how to do it. And so she's like, I've been doing this longer than I can remember. So my wife just literally said, I don't like what's out there. I'm just going to make my own. Here's the color. I got the yarn. What is it? A skeeve, I think is what I learned. Like all the yarn that's all wrapped up together, and it's called a skeeve. I believe I'm getting that right. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe, hun, you can correct me on that. But she just went to town, and in the course of our conversation, I'm sitting there, and she's just like doing her thing, having a conversation. Amazing. I couldn't multitask like that. You ladies, how you can multitask like that? God bless you. I admire all of that. But had a great time. She came close. We got a little bit more in some conversations involved than what she was planning on. So she came close. She's got almost all of it done in the course of just a couple of days away. So, hun, very impressive. It's looking like it's going to be a very great, lovely spring and summer purse. It's a nice purpley shade, exactly what she wanted, and she's putting it all together. She's like, look. She's like, look at that. She's like, I got it just right. And it was very cool to see her excitement of how it's just like how I do when I get excited about. Look at that, hun. I got the timing on that commercial just right today. She's like, well, that's good for you. I'm really happy for you. I was the same. I'm like, I'm really happy for you, babe. That corner looks really great. I don't fully appreciate everything that went into it, but I'm excited for you. And she's like, just like I don't fully appreciate how you can get your commercial timings just right, but hey, good for you. So that's a great. Our spouses, we can kind of revel in their gifts and talents and everything that they're doing, and was happy to do that for my wife. Hey, if we're heading into today and you don't know what today is National Professionals Day. What is today? Administrative Professionals Day is today. So if you are an administrative professional or have ever been one, thank you so much for the work that you do and everything that you're doing. Or if you are one, thanks for the work that you do. Or if you work with one, give them a high five today. Maybe it's a virtual high five or an in-person high five. Lots of cool stuff. Officially, the recognition began in 1952 as National Secretaries Day and renamed to Administrative Professionals Day in 2000. The new name better describes the expanding role of modern-day office administrators. Well, hey, we need to find out what today is going to look like for National Administrative Professionals Day from meteorologist Tim Root. Timmy, how are we looking for today? Okay, Big Mountain is not going to play. 0.05. Big Mountain. Gonna miss that.
A weather front coming in Friday with clouds and showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. The high about 60 to 65.
But we will get Pioneer Community Energy.
This is meteorologist Tim Root from
FM 104.5
and AM 950 KAHI. You can see them at night.
And every day they steal from you.
Any device with
Their digital display.
on light or sleep mode steals energy. They may only steal a little bit, but like drops of water in a bucket,
It adds up and you pay.
Stop energy theft. Turn off printers and computers when not in use. Use a power strip for charging and turn the strip off when done.
Stop energy thieves and save. Brought to you by Pioneer Community Energy.
5 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have your Fox Business Report. Coming up later on in this hour, Placer County Supervisor Jim Holmes is going to swing by like he does every couple of weeks. We're going to hear updates from the Placer County Supervisor Board meeting, all that good stuff and more coming up. Back now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit. All right. Need to put in that commercial that I missed.
Debate over how involved the United States should be in foreign wars. The bill passed the Senate on an overwhelming 79-18 vote late Tuesday after the House approved the package Saturday. $61 billion for Ukraine comes as the war-torn country desperately needs firepower. Russian President Vladimir Putin has stepped up his attacks. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
You know, it's not every day you can say you made the world truly a better place. America sends a message to the entire world.
Okay,
we will not turn our back on you. To our friends in Ukraine, America will soon deliver more ammunition, air defenses, and basic supplies we need to resist Putin on the battlefield. To our friends in Israel, America will soon deliver aid to help you fight the scourge of Hamas and stand up to Iran. To innocent civilians in Gaza in the midst of a war, and to those around the world who face hunger, America will deliver food, medicine, and clothing. And to our friends in the Indo-Pacific, we will stand with you to resist the Chinese Communist Party.
The legislation would also send $26 billion in wartime assistance to Israel and humanitarian relief to the citizens in Gaza, and $8 billion to counter Chinese threats in Taiwan and the Indo-Pacific. U.S. officials said about $1 billion of the aid would be on its way shortly, with the full following in coming weeks. In the end, 31 Republicans voted for the package, 9 more than when the Senate passed a similar version in February, and the majority of the Senate GOP conference. Republican Senator Mitt Romney said the House should have moved faster.
0030
Taylor Greene empty
to 0032. Oh.
I wish we'd have moved more quickly.
Okay, so that's good to know. So NET 0030 to 0032. That is good to know. So let's try that out. The next segment is 5 minutes long. Kapow.
So you don't think there's too late?
I don't think it's going to be helpful resources for the people of Ukraine to continue to fight against the massive Russian aggressor. Of course, Russia is much larger, a nuclear nation, basically lied about getting the nuclear weapons that Ukraine had. Russians said they would defend Ukraine, and now they're attacking Ukraine. You know, there's some folks who try and get themselves as many tweets, as many followers as they can. A lot of sound and fury signifying nothing.
Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer and Senate Minority Republican Leader Mitch McConnell worked with Speaker Johnson to overcome opposition to the Ukraine aid in particular, eventually winning large majorities in both chambers. McConnell on GOP opposition to the aid told reporters Greene and her colleagues took their cues from propagandist Tucker Carlson, pointing out to Fox's Chad Pergram that Carlson's huge audience was on Pergram's network.
What took so long to get some of these other aid Republicans persuaded to your position, or was it the overall nature of this bill and what was next in that time period for Ukraine?
Well, that's a good question. You already know the answer. I think the demonization of Ukraine began by Tucker Carlson, who, in my opinion, ended up where he should have been all along, which was interviewing Vladimir Putin. And so he had an enormous audience, which convinced a lot of rank and file Republicans that maybe this was a mistake. I think the former president had sort of mixed views on it. We all felt that the border was a complete disaster, myself included. And Chad, you remember covering the phases we went through. First, there was an effort to make law, which requires you to deal with Democrats. And then a number of our members thought it wasn't good enough. And then our nominee for president didn't seem to want us to do anything at all. That took months to work our way through it. So we ended up doing the supplemental that was originally proposed, which dealt with not all problems, it solved the border problem, but certainly addressed the growing threats at the moment.
The package has broad congressional support since Biden first requested the money last summer, but congressional leaders had to navigate strong opposition from a growing number of conservatives who questioned U.S. involvement in foreign wars and argued Congress should be focused instead on the surge of migration at the U.S.-Mexico border. The Supreme Court hears arguments tomorrow over whether Donald Trump is immune from prosecution in a case charging him with plotting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. It's a historic day for the court, with justices having an opportunity to decide once and for all whether former presidents can be prosecuted for official acts they take while in the White House. It comes as Trump is on trial in his criminal hush money case, the first trial of a former American president and the first of 4 criminal cases against Trump to reach a jury. The Supreme Court will consider today when doctors can provide abortions during medical emergencies in states with bans enacted after the High Court's sweeping decision overturning Roe v. Wade. It comes from Idaho, which is one of 14 states that now ban abortion at all stages of pregnancy, with limited exceptions. It marks the first time the Supreme Court's considered a state ban since Roe was reversed. The Biden administration argues that even in states where abortion is banned, federal health care law says hospitals must be allowed to terminate pregnancies in rare emergencies where a patient's life or health is at serious risk. Student protests over the war in Gaza have created a new and unpredictable challenge for President Joe Biden as he resists calls to cut off U.S. support for Israel, trying to hold together the coalition of voters he'll need for re-election. The protests at Columbia University in New York and other campuses have captured global media attention and resurfaced questions about Biden's lagging support from young voters. His handling of the Middle East conflict is also being closely watched by both Jewish and Arab American voters in key swing states. At best for Biden, the protests are a passing distraction, while the White House presses forward with the negotiations over the ceasefire and the release of hostages held by Hamas, while pushing Israel to limit casualties with more than 34,000 Palestinians dead. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at MacRayTalk. You've got America's First News.
America's First News. We'll be right back. In today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you, your family, and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help put vets to work by donating your car, truck, or van to Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will directly support programs to help vets find jobs or even start
Okay,
their own business.
here we go.
Today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, ready or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a
Fox
fast,
Business
acceptable
Report.
vehicle donation. Find out how you can make a difference in the life of the United States veteran.
Shingle Springs.
209-4580 for 24-hour response. Call 800-209-4580. 800-209-4580. That's
800-209-4580. And good Wednesday morning to you. Wednesday, April 24th, 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. Hey, good morning to you, Placerville. Currently 48 degrees where you're at right now. Partly cloudy. Looking for a high today of 63 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now, as we do, to the Fox Business Report.
Demand for expensive manufactured things was stronger than forecast last month. Durable goods orders rose 2.6%, exceeding transportation.
What are we going to talk about today?
0.2%. Durable goods orders include everything from big household appliances to airplanes. Boeing's losses in the recent quarter were not as large as expected, as it continued to deal with the fallout from a door panel blowing off an Alaska airline.
All right.
It says it's making progress on improving quality and solving its
What am I looking at? Oh, yeah.
involving
Community calendar.
Tesla shares are gaining
Friday.
Order. We'll be launching a Model 2 more affordable
Kicks off the rodeo.
cutting thousands of jobs in California and Texas as it restarts.
4 to 7 on Saturday and 2 to 5. So 4 to 9, 4 to 7 on Friday.
Chairman and CEO of Stifel. Financial advisors, let's face it, if you're not growing your practice, you're losing market share. Stifel is a growing
4 to 7. Okay.
advisor-centric firm built for successful advisors like you. There's a reason why 148 financial advisors joined Stifel last year. Come join us and find out why Stifel is the firm where success meets success. Visit www.choosestifel.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC, and
Does your electricity bill
shock you?
Trim that bill down by changing your rate plan. Matching your electric usage to the right rate plan can save you money. Visit KAHI.com/rate analysis to compare rate plans to see if you can save. Take a bite out of your electricity bill. Check your rate plan today. This money saving tip brought to you by Pioneer Community.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:16 a.m. Gang, we got to talk about what's going on this weekend. What is happening this weekend? Well, it's the Gold Country Pro Rodeo. It's kicking off on Friday, April 26th, so just a couple of days away. That's going to be from 4 to 9 p.m. That's going to be at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. That is at 209 Fairgate Road. If you didn't know where that is, the Gold Country Fairgrounds, the Gold Country Pro Rodeo. Man, that's a popular one around these parts. I think Connie might be out there this Saturday. Usually she is for the KAHI Corral. She'll give us all the updates from there. But the kicking off the Gold Country Pro Rodeo at 6 p.m. on Wednesday night. So, that's tonight with a dummy roping contest, free hot dogs, and more. You can find out more about that at goldcountryprorodeo.com. So it looks like there's going to be a kickoff tonight. And then Friday, night rodeo under the stars. The rodeo is fun for all ages, held rain or shine. And it looks like it is going to be a good weekend. Looks like we'll have a little bit of rain on Friday. So might have a little bit of sprinkles on this event, but Saturday and Sunday should be good. And that's going to be rain or shine. Don't miss the thrilling excitement of professional bull riding, bronc riding, barrel racing, the Flying U Flying Cowboys, mutton busting, and so much more. Bring the whole family and your friends. Find out more at goldcountryprorodeo.com. Friday, Under the Stars. That's going to be this Friday from 4 to 9 p.m. Saturday, it's going to be from 4 to 7 p.m. And then Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Tons of good stuff at the Gold Country Fairgrounds and Event Center, 209 Fairgate Road here in Auburn. Find out more at goldcountryprorodeo.com. Back with more after this. Uh-oh. 10 seconds over.
That means they can send a salesman to your home that looks like a
Whoops.
technician but knows next to nothing when servicing your heating and air system.
Daily dad jokes.
That'll never happen with Big Mountain's 2-for-1 rejuvenation of your heating and air system. With our 2 to 3 hour truly comprehensive 2-part service of both your furnace and your air conditioner with a written guarantee against breakdown, or the service will be free all year long. Total cost $78 or save $2,500 on a brand new heating and air system plus an additional $500 rebate. Replace your old R22 system. Details at 916-378-6270 or BigMountainAir.com.
19 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment at the bottom of the hour, Daily Dad Jokes. That's right. Make you laugh, sigh, roll your eyes. Back now to America's First News.
Of mass graves uncovered at 2 major hospitals in war-torn Gaza that were raided by Israeli troops.
Oh, well.
The UN Human Rights
Missed that one.
Turk said he was horrified
Close,
by
though.
the destruction of the Shifa Medical Center and Nasser Hospital. Spokesperson Ravina Shamdasani.
We are horrified also by the destruction of Al-Nasser Medical Complex and Al-Shifa Medical Complex and the reports of the discovery of mass graves in and around facilities. We call for independent, effective, transparent investigations into the deaths. Given the prevailing climate of impunity, this should include international investigators. Hospitals are entitled to very special protection under international humanitarian law. And let's be clear, the intentional killing of civilians, detainees, and others from that is a war crime. We are stressing the need for international investigations. There's a history here of impunity for gross violations, and so many of them have gone undetected and unreported on. So we feel the need to raise the alarm, because clearly there have been multiple bodies discovered. We don't know how many. There are reports that some of them had their hands tied, which of course indicates serious violations of international humanitarian rights law and international humanitarian law. And these need to be subjected to further investigations.
U.S. State Department spokesperson Vendit Patel called the reports of mass graves at hospitals incredibly troubling and said U.S. officials have asked the Israeli government for information. The Israeli military said its forces exhumed bodies that Palestinians burned earlier as part of its search for the remains of hostages captured by Hamas during its October 7th attack. The military said bodies were examined in a respectful manner, and those not belonging to the Israeli hostages were returned to their place. About $26 billion of the $95 billion foreign aid package the Senate passed overnight will support Israel and provide humanitarian relief for people.
I was at my buddy's wedding, and he told me I was the worst, best man he'd ever seen. I was speechless.
More than $9 billion of the total will go toward humanitarian assistance. U.S. Special Envoy to Middle East humanitarian aid David Satterfield was asked if the U.S. is satisfied with Israel's response after it promised 3 weeks ago to allow aid to flow following the killing of aid workers with the World Central Kitchen.
I'm not going to give you a grade.
There we
Did
go.
they get an A+ and A or B? We are in the constant process of monitoring and facilitating, supporting progress towards the goals the president set. This is not a gotcha test. At 2 p.m. on the 7th of May, will Israel pass or not? This is a set of requirements to help the people of Gaza and humanitarian workers whose role is vital in facilitating assistance. Progress is being made, but I am not going to stand here and give you a grade on that. More needs to be done.
Meanwhile, an independent review of the UN agency helping Palestinian refugees found that Israel never expressed concern over anyone on the staff list it's received annually since 2011. Israel alleged.
Saw a man standing on one leg at the ATM. Confused, I asked him what he was doing. He said, just checking my balance.
Former French Minister of Foreign Affairs Catherine Colonna headed the review group. She said Israel hasn't shown any evidence for its allegations.
I would like to say first that Iraq plays an indispensable and irreplaceable role in the region. And this must be said clearly.
Just checking my balance.
From that. Actually, you probably have a more developed system than other UN organizations or agencies, which is a necessity considering the very difficult environment, complex and difficult situation in which they operate and the uniqueness of their mission. There's always room for improvement and some issues related to neutrality persist. This is why this mission was created.
Israel stood by its allegations following the report calling it flawed. The Israel-Hamas war was sparked by the unprecedented October 7th raid into southern Israel, in which Hamas militants killed around 1,200 people and abducted around 250 hostages.
Okay.
Israel said militants are still holding around 100 hostages and the remains of more than 30 others. Veteran tabloid publisher David Pecker testified Tuesday. He pledged to be Donald Trump's eyes and ears during the 2016 presidential campaign. He promised the then candidate he would help suppress harmful stories and even arrange to purchase the silence of a doorman. Prosecutors say the secret handshake illegally influenced the election. He acquired stories, smeared Trump's opponents, and leveraged his connections to suppress stories, including Stormy Daniels' claim of an affair. Pecker's testimony Tuesday followed a hearing earlier in the day in which prosecutors urged Judge Juan Merchan to hold Trump in contempt and fine him $1,000 for each of 10 social media posts that they said violated an earlier gag order, barring attacks on witnesses, jurors, and others involved in the case.
Well, I think the gag order is totally unconstitutional. I'm not allowed to talk to people who are allowed to talk about me. So they can talk about me, they can say whatever they want, they can lie, but I'm not allowed to say anything. I just have to sit back and look at why a conflicted judge has ordered me to have a gag order. I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like this. I'd love to talk to you people. I'd love to say everything that's on my mind, but I'm restricted because I have a gag order. And by the way, this trial is all Biden. You know, this is all Biden, just in case anybody has any question. And they're keeping me in a courtroom that's freezing, by the way, in a courtroom all day long. Well, he's out campaigning. He's out campaigning, and I'm here in the courtroom, sitting here, sitting up as straight as I can all day long. Because you know what? It's a very unfair situation.
Trump, in fact, is allowed to defend himself. He's just not allowed to disparage or threaten individuals involved in the case. And the case is actually from the Southern District of New York. Not the
I don't
Justice
like
Department.
these.
Trump 34 felony counts arise from reimbursements that prosecutors say Trump's company made to Michael Cohen for hush money payments and that were falsely recorded as legal expenses. Republican Senator Mitt Romney didn't pull any punches when asked about the case.
Made their own assessment of President Trump's character, and so far as I know, you don't pay someone $130,000 not to have sex with you.
A conviction would not preclude Trump.
The guy called his admin.
Is a state case. He would not be able to pardon himself if found guilty. He's repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. After years of attempts,
A coworker called his administrative profession called his office. A coworker called his office admin professional and said, "When does the office open?" The admin professional says, "At 9 o'clock. Why are you calling me at midnight to get in? At 9 o'clock. Why are you calling me at midnight to get in?" The guy says, the coworker says, I don't want to get in. I want to get out.
There are 3 parts of the platform representing a threat.
We'll do that one.
For us, manifests itself.
The guy calls his admin professional coworker. Yeah, we'll do that one.
Deal with the software.
That's good.
The data.
All right.
We're talking about the ability to control or collect data on millions and millions of users and to use it for all sorts of influence operations like driving their.
It's time for your daily dad jokes. That's right. Make you laugh, sigh, roll your eyes. Administrative Professionals Day.
We are concerned very specifically about the risks that poses.
KAHI Radio.
Demonstrated playbook.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You got your galoshes? Oh, well, get them for Friday. It might rain a little bit on Friday, but then it's going to be clear on the weekend.
Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media.
Yeah.
More on the way on this Wednesday morning, including a look at sports. The NBA playoffs continue. You've got America's first news. Good morning.
Breaking news first.
Send me. Can you send me an email? Do you have email? Can you send me an email to live@KAHI? Okay, sounds good. We'd love to know about it. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. I thought email might be a stretch on that one. Boy, that's so low. Okay, so we're doing
difficult times,
weather and daily dad jokes. Make you laugh, sigh, roll your eyes.
People are joining MediShare right now. MediShare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now in this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. MediShare can save you a lot of money. A typical family saves $500 a month. Bink. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion
30 years.
of each other's bills. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second. And if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Now, the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
If Americans want to remain a free and sovereign nation, more people need to understand the principles and values that built America. At the John Birch Society, we
Lake of the Pines.
The plan and the resources to do just that. Our founder, Robert Welch, said, "Education is our total strategy and truth our only weapon." Go to jbs.org to learn more, including how you can get involved to work locally and impact nationally. Join us at jbs.org.
And good Wednesday morning to you. Wednesday, April 24th, 30 minutes past the top of the hour. It is 7:30 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Lake of the Pines. Currently, it is 50 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 65 degrees. Gang, I have missed it, but we are back. Missed the last couple of days, but it is time for your daily dad jokes. That's right. Make you laugh, sigh, most likely roll your eyes. You can send me yours live at KAHI.com. That's an email address, live@KAHI.com, or you can call me 530-885-3565. Got a couple lined up, couple emailed in here, but we'll start in with this one first. Saw a man standing on one leg at an ATM. Confused, I asked him what he was doing. He said, just checking my balance. That was a pretty good one. That was good. All right, this one from Jesse R. I was at my buddy's wedding. He told me I was the worst best man he'd ever seen. I was speechless. That was good. How about this one from David B. Wanted. A man has been stealing the wheels of police cars. Police are working tirelessly to catch him. Hey, oh, a man's been stealing wheels off a police car. Police are working tirelessly to catch him. I got to do that one a couple times. That's fantastic. All right, and in honor of Administrative Professionals Day, this is maybe more of an administrative professionals adjacent joke, but here we go. A guy calls his administrative professional coworker and says, hey, what time does the office open? The administrative professional says at 9 o'clock. And why are you calling me at midnight to get in? Guy says, I don't want to get in. I want to get out. And that's funny because I have had to call our office admin at one point. I locked myself out of a room that had all of my stuff in it after she had gone home for the day. And so that's that story hits, that joke hits. And those have been your daily dad jokes for this Wednesday, April 24th. Happy Administrative Professionals Day. We'll be back with your KAHI weather right after this. So I basically was that guy.
We believe that true health begins with what you put into your body. And that's why we're dedicated to providing you with the best products at the best prices. All
right, Timmy, you're up. Weather! Or not. We should do the weather.
15% off every Wednesday. Visit us in Auburn and Roseville or online at sunrisenaturalfoods.net.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, a nice day today. 65 to 70, light southwest winds. Mostly clear overnight, light winds in the mid to upper 40s. You'll be in the low 60s with sunshine, a few scattered clouds on Thursday. A weather front coming in Friday with clouds and showers, maybe a rumble of thunder.
I don't know, Tim. It's looking pretty cloudy out there today.
Clear for the weekend. This is meteorologist Tim Root.
From FM 104 at 950 KAHI.
Hi, this is Mike Nichols. Join me for the all-new Sunday morning talk program. If you have something to buy, sell, walk, or even give away for free, you can give me a call on Sunday mornings between 8 and 9. There's no telling what you might hear on this week's talk drop, so tell your family, friends, and neighbors to tune in and listen as you become a radio star on Sunday morning talk drop. This and every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, Placer County Supervisor Jim Holmes is slated to come on by. Always fun to talk to Jim. We'll see what's going on in our community here and surrounding areas. Back now to America's First News. See you back here in just a bit. All right.
Sending the package to President Joe Biden for days in contentious debate over how involved the U.S. should be in foreign wars. Passed on a 79 to 18 vote late Tuesday after the House approved it Saturday. The $61 billion for Ukraine comes as the war-torn country desperately needs firepower as Russian President Vladimir Putin stepped up his attacks. Ukrainian soldiers have struggled as Russia seized the momentum on the battlefield and gained a significant territory. Biden told Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky Monday the U.S. will send badly needed air defense weaponry as soon as the legislation is passed. Air Force Major General Pat Ryder.
In general terms, I would say that we would expect to be able to deliver aid within days. Of course, and I will caveat this by saying I don't have anything to announce right now in terms of what that aid could look like. We need to have a law first. But depending on what that aid is, and as you've seen in the past, we provide a variety of aid. anticipating this. We're doing everything we can to lean forward to be able to provide additional security assistance to Ukraine as quickly as possible. So much more to follow in the days ahead. But needless to say, we understand the importance and the urgency and are doing everything we can to be poised to respond quickly.
Meanwhile, the UK Prime Minister said this week the country is putting its defense industry on a war footing by increasing defense spending to 2.5% of GDP by the end of the decade, and pledged to send arms worth £500 million to Ukraine. The target of 2.5% of GDP spending was a recommitment of a target set by former Prime Minister Boris Johnson in 2022. Rishi Sunak previously said the goal would be met when economic conditions allow.
But today I'm announcing the biggest strengthening of our national defence for a generation. We will increase defence spending to a new baseline of 2.5% of GDP by 2030. That starts today and rises steadily in each and every year. Over the next 6 years, we'll invest an additional £75 billion in our defence. And it will be fully funded with no increase in borrowing or debt. Today is a landmark moment in the defence of the United Kingdom. This is a generational investment in British security and British prosperity. It makes us safer at home and stronger abroad. Now, we will have three immediate priorities for this new investment. First, we will put the UK's own defence industry on a war footing. One of the central lessons of the war in Ukraine is that we need deeper stockpiles of munitions and for industry to be able to replenish them more quickly. So today we're giving £10 billion in munitions support to give industry long-term funding certainty, backed by long-term contracts, so that they can produce more, be ready to surge capacity, and to move to always-on production when required.
A decade ago, NATO leaders agreed to commit 2% of GDP to defense spending. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine has given that effort new urgency. Sunak said that Britain would deploy its Typhoon fighter jets to Poland to help police its skies. Poland, which borders Ukraine, has seen several incursions of its airspace since Russia invaded Ukraine. A Michigan woman was arraigned Tuesday on second-degree murder and other charges after prosecutors say she drunkenly crashed her SUV into a boat club that was hosting a child's birthday party, killing a young brother and sister and injuring several others. Marcella Chichester didn't enter a plea into the 8 counts she faces in Saturday's tragic crash at the Swan Boat Club in Monroe County, about 30 miles south of Detroit.
And is facing 2 life sentences that could run consecutive to other offenses that are involved in this matter. We have ample video evidence showing exactly what happened during this incident.
Why operate a vehicle knowing you're taking medicine that drinking will affect it? We were supposed to be planning a birthday party for Zane, not a funeral. She knew it. She shouldn't have done it.
The crash killed 8-year-old Alana Phillips and her 4-year-old brother Zane Phillips. Their mother, Mariah Dodds, and another sibling were among the injured. Defense attorney Bill Covelo said she had only a glass of wine and a bowl of chili 4 hours before the crash, and she had suffered since November with seizures in her legs. Prosecutors told the court that Chichester had substance abuse issues that were corroborated by her friends and family, and there were no signs of a seizure. Turning to sports this morning, and Pascal Siakam scored 37 points, and Indiana overcame another fantastic first-half performance from Damian Lillard to beat Milwaukee, tie their Eastern Conference first-round playoff series at a game apiece. Tyrese Halliburton was making his first playoff debut in his home state. He says he's looking forward to playing in front of fans in Indiana after games 1 and 2 in Milwaukee, taking a parting shot at Bucks fans.
You know, it's just my second playoff game, but they always say, like, playoffs don't start till, series don't start till there's a road win. So we got that, so I guess it started, and so we're excited to go home, have our fans with us. We expect an unbelievable environment, an environment we haven't seen this whole playoffs, with the noise level and stuff. So we're excited to go home and be in front of such a great crowd. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be unbelievable. No doubt about that. We've had regular season crowds better than what we've played in these last 2 games. So we expect a great crowd. A lot of people are excited about what's to come, in the series, and just the energy in the city right now with everything that's going on, but especially with us. So, we're excited to go.
Halliburton said a fan called his younger brother the N-word during Game 1, saying it was important for his family to address it, and his brother handled it the right way. The Bucks organization said Halliburton's family was in the wrong section. As the representative asked the group to move, Halliburton's brother alleged the fan in front of him used the racial slur. The fan denied it. Led by Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, the Dallas Mavericks bounced back to take home court advantage from the LA Clippers and newly returned and rusty Kawhi Leonard. Doncic had 32 points, Irving had 23, and the Mavs won 96-93 Tuesday night to tie their Western Conference first-round playoff series at a game apiece. Doncic on the comeback win.
First game wasn't our best game, so we had to come out here and prove that we can play with them.
You take a lot of criticism for your defense. Today, it seemed like you were more engaged than ever. What was the mentality and the approach?
Yeah, I mean, it's playoffs. It's different. I'm trying to double with me, and I said no double. I take pride, in my defense, too. They're always going to say that, the haters. But it's fine, man. I'm out here enjoying playing basketball. That's fun, man. That's what I do. That's what I want to do my whole life, so I just enjoy doing that.
Doncic making the comments to TNT's Jared Greenberg. Leonard had 15 points and 7 boards in 35 minutes in his first game since March 31st. He hadn't played or had any contact because of inflammation in his surgically repaired right knee. Game 3 is Friday in Dallas. And Jaden McDaniels had 25 points for a career best in the playoffs and spearheaded another stifling defensive performance by the Timberwolves in a 105-93 win over the Suns to take a 2-0 lead in their first-round series Tuesday night. The Suns again failed to get their high-octane offense in gear, scoring less than 100 points in both games. Devin Booker had a team-high 20 points before fouling out late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, my frustration is just, within the team. We need to execute. We play well when we're playing well, and then, we need to stick together once things turn bad. Like I said, we've done that throughout the season, so, something that has to be corrected.
The big three of Booker, Durant, and Bradley Beal combined shot just 18 for 45. Suns coach Frank Vogel on being down 0-2 and losing composure.
They can understand that maybe they missed a couple, okay, and it swings back their way. You try to do the best you can with that, but the group's got to turn their focus to next level.
Jim, are you coming in? I got your schedule for today.
Go wrong in certain stretches, whether it's our offense or defense.
Well, if not,
things are going to go wrong at certain points in the playoffs, and you have to have a next play mindset. Execute the
what am I going to announce?
To what's happening next, not what just happened previously. But we got a great team.
Announce?
We've shown that, throughout stretches we've had.
The
as we'd expect with a group that's put together in year one. Okay, we've had our bumps in the road. It hasn't been an easy run for us, but through those bumps in the road, we've responded.
Community market.
From that. We played some of our best basketball down the stretch, and first time going through in the playoffs. Okay, we're in adversity. We'll handle it and get better from it. So I'm very confident in what our game's going to look like in game 3.
That's what we'll do.
Phoenix for game 3.
We'll do that.
The first round of 2004 and route to a 4-1 series victory. And on the diamond, Logan Webb pitched 8 strong innings and extended his scoreless streak to a career-high 19 as the Giants beat the Mets 5-1. Webb won his 3rd straight start, striking out 4 and scattering 6 hits with a walk. The 27-year-old recorded 15 ground outs. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way. You've got America's First News.
America's First News. We'll be right back.
In a study, it was found that 33% of 44 herbal supplements had no trace of the advertised herb.
Did Jim come on today?
Hi, this is Dr. Mitch. If you want to ensure quality,
There he is.
please go to totalwellness.com. Supplements made for physicians only now available.
Jim, good morning.
Hey, good morning, sir.
How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Well, thank you.
Here we go. Oh, the blue notes are here.
Yeah,
we got the blue notes. All right, we got your timing is good, sir. 20 seconds, and we're.
Oh, I hit the lights.
Oh, okay. Today is Administrative Professionals Day.
Oh shit.
Okay.
What are they? I had one that a couple of years ago. I said, "Happy Secretary." I'm not a secretary.
And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, April 24th, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:45 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. Jim, you know what it is. It is the voice Voice of
The
the
voice of
there,
the
there we go.
Yes. And
There we go.
thank you, Chris. It's always a pleasure to be in spacious Studio A.
Oh boy, spreading out today.
Which is an appurtenant accessory to the historic State Theater.
I love that we're here. I love that we're at street level. Now, when you're here, you're actually, my back is to the window, but you're facing the window,
Right.
and you can see our local, folks walking by, and we've got our normal morning walkers that are happening all the time, and
sometimes they wave, usually with all 5 fingers.
Hang on! Oh my gosh! Get it! Wait! Where is it? Oh my gosh, Adam Weir! There we go! Oh my gosh! Man, I gotta have that ready. That is good. There's a few that knock on the window and scare the bejeebers out of me every time because I should be used to it by now. But yeah, as part of it, it's so great to be here, part of the State Theater, and just kind of be in this historic little spot here.
Right. You betcha.
Yeah, looking forward to the state opening up here pretty soon.
Oh,
I think we're getting close.
Oh yeah, I got to get an update on that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure the county's going to want to participate.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, Jim. Well, hey, it's been a while since we chatted. How are you? How the heck are you?
I'm doing okay. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and yesterday we had our board meeting, very long one.
Okay.
But what we did, generally there's so much public comment that we leave the first part of the meeting open for public comment.
Okay.
And this is because of the rezone program.
It's a hot topic.
Yes. And so we set an hour aside. So at 9 o'clock, we gave people that wanted to express their opinions for an hour, but it took an hour and a half to that time.
Okay.
And we got an earful. And, I see their concern. The board is, and anybody that is elected that has to deal with this, it puts us in a difficult position.
Yeah.
And states mandating that we have to make sure that we have property available for affordable units.
Yeah.
Where they go, that's the challenge.
Yeah, and that's still hasn't been decided, right? That's what everybody's commenting about.
Thursday, tomorrow,
the
Planning Commission is going to take it up.
Okay.
So that'll be a long day for them.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
when it comes to public comment, is there a time limit, or can folks just kind of talk as long as they need to?
Well, we try to limit it to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Sometimes we let them go a little bit longer if they're wrapping up.
Okay.
But we try to keep it at 3 minutes. Now, there's been occasions when we had a very controversial project. A lot of people wanted to talk, and I was a chair at the time. I limited it to 2 minutes.
Okay.
And because otherwise we would probably still be
right.
Yeah,
so in order to give folks a fair shot and have as many
Yeah.
people comment as possible, you can't
Right.
just let them go on for filibuster for an hour for one person. Okay.
Yeah. That's happened before. We've had challenges where much of the morning was taken up by public comment.
Yeah. Can you say, okay, thank you very much, next person, or do you have to let folks talk as long as
when I
they
was
want
the
to?
chair, I always say thank you. But first of all, I say hello.
Mhm.
And then after they're done, I say thank you.
Mhm.
And the next person goes.
Okay. Yeah.
But every once in a while, I have to say, I'm sorry, can you please wrap up your comments?
Yeah.
You have to do it in a nice way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can't just
Yeah.
the not like the Oscars, the music doesn't swell, the microphone sinks down into the floor,
We're
and
looking
that's
for
that.
nobody's
Got it.
Nobody's
Fair
out
enough.
there.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And where are the meetings held? Forgive my ignorance on this. Are the meetings held in the same spot where folks can know to come in public?
Oh
or
yeah.
Do they
So
show?
our,
Okay.
our meetings are at the domes.
At the domes. Yeah. Okay.
Now,
Right, a full one.
occasionally, when there's going to be a lot of folks coming in, we'll have them at the Planning Commission chambers.
Okay.
And I think tomorrow, the Planning Commission is going to meet in the Jeff Brown room in the new Health and Human Services.
Yeah.
Because it's larger space.
Yeah.
So, and there'll be more parking and etc.
Yeah.
So anyhow.
Well, brand new building. By gosh, let's
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah. Right. It's been well used so far.
Yeah. Good.
Right. So.
Love it.
Yeah. So exciting times at the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, I bet. So anything come out of yesterday as far as the development and I know you've got a lot of comment. What's the next step for the supervisors?
We can't take action. Excuse me. I can't take action on it on public comment.
Okay.
So we and I took prolific notes about everybody who spoke.
Got it.
And some had a happy check mark and some had a frowny check.
Okay. Depending on how they were waving at you. I got you. Okay.
And so I don't know. We may have. I don't know where we may meet at a different location it'll be March. It'll be May 21st when we hear.
Okay. Okay.
And so, but we have to have the adoption so we can send the housing element to the state of California,
Mhm,
and then
mhm.
they have to bless it.
Okay.
If they don't bless it, they send it back, and then we have to go over it again.
Okay, so that was my next question is the state makes the final decision, like the county sends the recommendations and then the state
Right.
says happy check mark or frowny face check
Right.
mark on that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's happened to some of the jurisdictions, Portola Valley and down in Central California.
Yeah.
They got their sent back,
Oh,
and they're stopped. They can't do anything.
no kidding.
You can't get a building permit for a water heater or until they get that.
Oh, so that's kind of what's on the line
Yeah.
here. They will kind of freeze you up
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit.
they can do that.
Oh
And it's
my
been done
goodness
before,
gracious.
and, several years ago in Sacramento County,
Okay.
they froze and nobody could do anything.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you kind of, I hate to use the term, but held hostage a little bit until they figure it out.
And then there's this thing called builder's remedy,
Okay.
which if we don't make a decision, the building community can come in without any hearings and just build.
Oh.
And that's happening in some of the
Oh.
counties. So it's a tough spot to be in. We need to be as flexible as possible,
Right.
in order to meet the state's criteria.
Right. And the challenge is, again, I know we've talked about this a few times, but okay, here's a piece of property or land that could potentially, this is recommended or we're considering this, but infrastructure is a thing. So yeah, you could say, oh yeah, there's a we could do it, but like, what are you going to do? How are you going to get services out there? Or
Well,
what are
you
gonna
know,
have to do?
case in point is Florence Lane out on Highway 49.
Yeah.
Right out there. The property owner can't do much with it, so
Right.
he wants to put
It's
it
like,
in.
well, sure.
Let's
Make a little money
but
off of
there's
it, maybe.
it'd take billions of dollars to provide
Right.
infrastructure and things. So
Right.
that's not on the list. We still have people out there that are concerned that maybe we're going to sneak it in, but it just doesn't work.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's when it's
What's the department when so you guys we're going to get the recommendations here at some point. We're going to
Yeah.
hear everybody out. We're going to get the recommendations.
Yeah.
Now you send those recommendations to the state. What department does that go to?
housing and
Is it
community development.
development?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Right.
And is it a committee there that do you know what
I don't
happens
know.
on that
They're-
side? Like what the hell?
I don't know who these people are.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, that one works.
No,
Okay, okay. So they got a
have,
process.
yeah,
Okay,
the leadership in the
okay,
housing.
okay. Do you get to have any interaction with them as supervisors, or do you just send it and it disappears behind the wall and then
Right,
it comes back?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Now, some of our staff will respond if there's questions that the housing and community development call. Our staff members will respond.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Got
so,
it.
yeah. So it's not a good idea to have elected officials get their fingers in that because then it can go sideways.
Oh,
very
okay,
quickly.
okay. Interesting.
We can tell staff what we want.
Okay.
Yeah,
But they're the ones that are actually
Right.
having the communications back and forth and,
Right.
and all this. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh. So,
So-
May is the next conversation
May-
on your guys'
yeah,
end.
May
It's-
21st.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to hearing the. I won't be at the planning commission.
Yeah.
But I will get some feedback and want to
Got
hear what they came up with. And I think they're going to take district by district
Yeah.
instead of having everybody line up and talk about one. Go by district, and I think that's the best way to do it.
Okay.
And then they can make decisions and recommendations to the board of supervisors. But we still have the ultimate authority to make
The kind of final call there. Now, do they are you going to have public comment at the meeting in May? Is that always a part of it, or?
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be every time. Okay.
Yeah, and there'll be plenty of comments. You know, we had the winery. The place was packed.
Yes.
For the winery on the road.
Okay.
And we just had to endure it. But that was the one that I cut everything to 2 minutes.
Yeah, because that was going to be that was a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do everybody else? Well, you've got the famous blue notes here. All the notes. Does everybody? Is that a government regulation that it has to all be on blue paper? Or is that just for?
Well, it's
for you?
some supervisors get confused.
Okay.
So the blue is the one that's in the staff report.
That's in the
This
staff
is the
report.
important
Okay,
one.
that's good. That's the one that
That's
we pay
noted.
attention. It's on the blue paper. We've got the highlights going on there.
Now,
Okay.
This is a roll call vote. Okay.
All right, we're gonna get to the notes here in just a minute. Jim, we're gonna show some love to our advertisers. We're gonna take a break here in just a minute, and we will be right back right after this. I guess technically that's not a paid commercial, but there we go. Okay. Interesting. So when I guess I forgot to ask, maybe I'll ask you, when is the deadline that it has to be submitted to the state? When does the state have to get your guys' recommendations? Maybe we'll come back with that.
I think it's May 25th. So
Okay.
we have a little short window.
So you have
I don't
that-
know if there's an extension or not. There may be an extension
Okay.
on that.
Okay. Got it. Okay. I'll ask that coming back.
Sure.
And then because that'll be interesting. And then do we have a couple more things to
Oh, just no big deal. So,
Okay.
yeah.
that's the big one. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Good. I saw that the golly, it's such a bummer that the Mandarin Festival is going to Roseville. They're going away from the fairgrounds. The journal, like, such a bummer.
Well,
What's-
that could have been worked out. It's
Yeah.
animosity.
Yeah, there's a lot of I could hear there's some tensions going on between.
Alice is doing a great job.
Yeah.
The fairgrounds has been in disrepair. He
Yeah.
came in, we're gonna
Yeah.
make it a business.
Yeah.
And some of the people that took it for granted all these years are now upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was formed by the Mandarin Festival was formed by the Newcastle Business.
Yeah, it was good. It was because it was in Newcastle a long time,
Yeah,
and then it came over.
Just expanded.
Yeah.
So there's some bad.
Yeah. I was like, it's just a bummer to see it. You got like, man, I wish it would stay. Speaking of Newcastle, we'll shout out Newcastle here. All right, we got just a couple seconds here, 5 seconds, and then we'll be back. And 3 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:57 here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI. Jim, you know what it is. It is the
voice of the foothills.
Yes, there we go. And good morning, Newcastle. It is 54 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 68 degrees. So, Jim, we were talking about basically looking for the place for, what is it called? What's the official name of it? The urban development.
Well, it's I forget what the fish is for the affordable housing.
Affordable housing,
and
yeah,
in
yeah.
the unincorporated areas. Now, a lot of the cities have zoning for that affordable housing.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been in the unincorporated areas.
Yeah.
Not as much of it because we don't have the zoning. In some of the large cities, they've got big developments going on, so
Right.
they can put that on the backs of the developers. But we don't have those large developments in the
Right.
unincorporated area. Bickford Ranch comes to mind, but we have an in lieu fee that they pay per door, and that'll bring in some funding.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to put affordable housing in Bickford Ranch. Is going to be high level, properties.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyhow, so that's one way to work at it, but it's never enough.
Yeah.
We're trying to do everything we can.
Yeah,
And we need, there's a housing crisis. We need housing for our nurses, our people, the teachers.
The local, just
people
like
that
the
have
local
jobs.
support,
Right.
local
Right.
workers, local economy for
Yeah.
sure. It kind of reminds me of the old saying, you can please some of the people all the time or all the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. I'm sure that's kind of what
Right.
you live by. If you think like, look, I can't please everybody all of the time. Before we hit the top of the hour here, and we'll pause for just a second for the station identification, when do you guys have to have that information to the states?
I believe it's due on March 25th.
May-
but I think
May 20
May 25th.
May 25th, okay.
I think there may be an extension, and I have to double check
Okay,
that. But
yeah.
we're going to try to come to resolution on May the 21st.
Okay, and does the state have so much time that they say we'll get back to you by this date, or is it just whenever they darn well please?
Well, we don't try to push them.
Don't poke the bear.
No,
Don't. All right, we are going to pause just for a moment for station identification.
All right.
I had a note I was supposed to come and pick that up today. Thank you.
I just got here,
Okay,
so.
awesome. Thank you. And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, April 24th. It is right smack dab at the top of the hour, 8 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. Jim, what is it?
Voice of the Foothills.
There we go. It's nice to have some help with that.
Yeah.
All right, so talking to Placer County Supervisor Jim Holmes. Jim, thanks for stopping. I love that you stop by every couple of weeks just to keep us updated here. Just to wrap up, what else should we know? Anything else coming from the meeting the other day?
Well, now we're getting close to the end of the fiscal year.
Yes. I know now that you said it, yes.
Yeah. And so we've had all kinds of fee adjustments that we need to make to have them in place by July 1st, the new fiscal year. So there was about 10 of them on the agenda. And, we didn't spend a lot of time. We were briefed on those. We know that they're due. It happens every year. But somehow this year we got 10 of them, one after another.
Oh, okay.
And so we did approve them. One, we had to send back for animal services.
Okay.
There was a little flaw in their report. So that'll come back at our next board meeting.
Okay. So you kind of get to go through those. Is that pretty standard, pretty routine at that point?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're briefed, we're briefed and we understand. And it's not that big of an adjustment, but we have to keep up with, the economy and things.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, real quick today, Administrative Professionals Day.
Okay.
Now you're, and I'm trying to remember her name.
It's the amazing Beverly.
Beverly. I was going to say Kimberly, and I'm like, I know Kimberly is not. It's Beverly. She is fantastic. So high five to her for us today. She's so
my
great.
chief of staff, my aide de camp, my second boss.
yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yeah. What are my marching orders for today? Right. Yes. She is. Every time I communicate with her, she is just fantastic. So big high five to her today.
Oh, thank you.
She's taking care of keeping you on track here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me on the road.
Awesome. Anything else, Jim? Or that pretty much wraps it up for now?
That'll wrap it up for now. It's always a pleasure to be on Radio KAHI 950 AM and 104.5 FM.
You got it.
The voice of the foothills.
Checks in the mail, Jim.
Right.
Metaphorical check. Hey, thanks so much for stopping in. Talking to Placer County Supervisor Jim Holmes stops in every now and again. We're going to take a break, and we will be back right after this. Thanks, Jim.
All righty.
Have a fantastic day.
Well, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Oh, I got that. Yeah, you're fine. I know it's a delicate balancing act, as you know. It's always hey, nice socks, by the way. Oh yeah, I like those. Nice. That's where I get all my socks. I go to conferences, and they have different companies have. Right, good. All right, Jim. We'll see you later. Bye bye.
ABT has been in business since 2001, and we are thrilled to have been voted Auburn's best plumbing company and best heating and cooling company in Auburn Journal's Best of Auburn promotion. We're very proud to have placed as runner-up in electrical category as well. Our technicians are experienced and friendly. If you have an issue with your plumbing, your whole house generator, or maybe your furnace isn't working, give ABT a call. Reach us at 530-230-9004 for excellent service. It really is as easy as ABT.
Hey there, KAHI listeners. Producer Adam here to remind you to listen to Chris in the Morning along with Matt Ray.
And America's First News.
Get all the local news, weather, traffic, and local events you can handle, plus a healthy dose of daily dad jokes. Chris in the Morning with Matt Ray, 6 to 9 a.m. here on FM 104.5 and AM
950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills. I never miss it, and neither should you. My goodness, it's early.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies. A nice day today. 65 to 70, light southwest winds. Mostly clear over light winds in the mid to upper 40s. You'll be in the low 60s with sunshine, a few scattered clouds on Thursday. A weather front coming in Friday with clouds and showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. The high about 60 to 65. But the best news is it'll clear for the weekend. This is meteorologist Tim Ray from FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI.
Hi, the consumer with a thought about advertising on the radio. Someone probably told you Wednesday was best shopping day in the newspaper. So you put an ad there. And so did everyone else, including all the mega billion-dollar companies who take the whole page and swallow your little ad like a great white shark devouring a small reef fish. It's not a pretty sight. No wonder they say newspapers
So what's a little guy to do?
If you'd like to advertise where there's less clutter, advertise on this station. Call us for more information.
5 minutes past the top of the hour. It is 8:05 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have your Fox Business Report. Also, take a look at our roadways out there, see what's looking like for traffic. Hey, happy Professional Administrators Day or Administrators Professionals Day, however that lines up for you. Hey, here's a fun fact for you. Administrative professionals are responsible for making important purchase decisions for their organization, which on average are worth up to $20,000 a year. Also, more than 22 million secretary/administrative professionals are part of the U.S. workforce. So if that is you, or if you know somebody who is doing that job, thank you so much for the job that you do today. I hope you have a fantastic day. Off now to America's First News. See you back here in just a little bit.
$95 billion in war aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, sending the legislation to President Joe Biden after months of delays and contentious debate over how involved the United States should be in foreign wars. The bill passed the Senate on an overwhelming 79 to 18.
Okay, what was I going to do? I was just going to do something.
Saturday. $61 billion for Ukraine comes as the war-torn country desperately needs firepower. As Russian President Vladimir Putin
get that stuff from that. That's what I was going to do.
Leader Chuck Schumer.
You know, it's not every day you can say you make the world truly a better place.
5 minutes.
America sends a message to the entire world. We will not turn our back on you. To our friends in Ukraine, America will soon deliver more ammunition and air defenses and basic supplies you need to resist Putin on the battlefield. To our friends in Israel, America will soon deliver aid to help you fight the scourge of Hamas and stand up to Iran. To innocent civilians in Gaza in the midst of a war, and to those around the world who face
Here we go.
America will deliver food and and to our friends in the Indo-Pacific, we will stand with you to resist the Chinese Communist Party.
The legislation would also send $26 billion in wartime assistance to Israel and humanitarian relief to the citizens of Gaza, and $8 billion to counter Chinese threats in Taiwan and the Indo-Pacific. U.S. officials said about $1 billion in aid will be on its way shortly, with the report following the incoming weeks.
Okay.
In the end, 31 Republicans voted for the package, 9 more than when the Senate passed a similar version in February, and the majority of the Senate GOP conference. Republican Senator Mitt Romney said the House should have moved faster, though. He called Marjorie Taylor Greene empty for her threats to House Speaker Mike Johnson's role.
I wish we'd have moved more quickly, but Speaker Johnson got in the right place and is allowing the majority, the representatives, Republican and Democrat, to make a decision. And that decision will be to provide the funding that Ukraine needs to defend its own freedom and its sovereignty. If we're going to have nations believe that they can just attack one another and take over neighboring nations by virtue of their military might, well, it's a very dangerous world, which would put our own economy in trouble, would obviously put our national security in danger as well.
So you don't think it's too late?
I don't think it's going to be helpful resources for the people of Ukraine to continue to fight against the massive Russian aggressor. Of course, Russia is much larger, a nuclear nation, basically lied about getting the nuclear weapons that Ukraine had. Russia said they would defend Ukraine, and now they're attacking. You know, there's some folks who try and get themselves as many tweets, as many followers as they can. A lot of sound and fury signifying nothing.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and Senate Minority Republican leader Mitch McConnell worked with Speaker Johnson to overcome opposition to the Ukraine aid in particular, eventually winning large majorities in both chambers. McConnell on GOP opposition to the aid told reporters Greene and her colleagues took their cues from propagandist Tucker Carlson, pointing out to Fox's Chad Pergram that Carlson's huge audience was on Pergram's network.
What took so long to get some of these other aid Republicans persuaded to your position? Or was it the overall nature of this bill, and what was the next time period for Ukraine?
Well, that's a good question. You already know the answer. I think the demonization of Ukraine began by Tucker Carlson, who, in my opinion, ended up where he should have been all along, which is interviewing Vladimir Putin. And so he had an enormous audience, which convinced a lot of rank-and-file Republicans that maybe this was mistake. I think the former president had sort of mixed views on it. We all felt that border was a complete disaster, myself included. And Chad, you remember covering the phases we went through. First, it was an effort to make law, which requires you to deal with Democrats. And then a number of our members thought it wasn't good enough. And then our nominee for president didn't seem to want us to do anything at all. That took months to work our way through. So we ended up doing the supplemental that was originally proposed, which dealt with not all problems, but it solved border problems, but certainly addressed the growing crisis.
The package has broad congressional support since Biden first requested the money last summer, but congressional leaders had to navigate strong opposition from a growing number of conservatives who questioned U.S. involvement in foreign wars and argued Congress should be focused instead on the surge of migration at the U.S.-Mexico border. The Supreme Court hears arguments tomorrow over whether Donald Trump is immune from prosecution in a case charging him with plotting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. It's a historic day for the court, with justices having an opportunity to decide once and for all whether former presidents can be prosecuted for official acts they take while in the White House. It comes as Trump is on trial in his criminal hush money case, the first trial of a former American president and the first of 4 criminal cases against Trump to reach a jury. The Supreme Court will consider today when doctors can provide abortions during medical emergencies in states with bans enacted after the High Court's sweeping decision overturning Roe v. Wade. It comes from Idaho, which is one of 14 states that now ban abortion at all stages of pregnancy, with limited exceptions. It marks the first time the Supreme Court's considered a state ban since Roe was reversed. The Biden administration argues that even in states where abortion is banned, federal health care law says hospitals must be allowed to terminate pregnancies in rare emergencies where a patient's life or health is at serious risk. Student protests over the war in Gaza have created a new and unpredictable challenge for President Joe Biden as he resists calls to cut off U.S. support for Israel, while trying to hold together the coalition of voters he'll need for re-election. The protests at Columbia University in New York and other campuses have captured global media attention and resurfaced questions about Biden's lagging support from young voters. His handling of the Middle East conflict is also being closely watched by both Jewish and Arab American voters in key swing states. At best for Biden, the protests are a passing distraction, while the White House presses forward with the negotiations over the ceasefire and the release of hostages held by Hamas while pushing Israel to limit casualties with more than 34,000 Palestinians dead. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. You've got America's First News.
America's First News will be right
America's First News will be
Crime
right
across the country is at an all-time high. It feels like even a family road trip is taking a risk. We don't want the feeling of being unprotected and vulnerable. We found GetCCL.com. GetCCL.com gave us the help we needed to apply for a legal concealed carry permit that's recognized in over half of the country. GetCCL.com simplifies the process to apply, and it's all online. We used their free qualification process to answer a few questions and applied for our permit right from home. Thanks to reciprocity laws between states, when you're issued a New Hampshire concealed carry permit, you can legally carry in any state that recognizes your New Hampshire permit. It only takes minutes to apply, so don't wait. Exercise your rights today. Ensure you're protecting your family at home and in other states. Have peace of mind. Apply today. Go to GetCCL.com. That's GetCCL.com. Go to GetCCL.com. Exercise your rights today. Go to GetCCL.com.
And good Wednesday morning to you. It is Wednesday, April 24th, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:14 a.m. And good morning to you, Nevada City. Currently 51 degrees where you're at. Cloudy right now, looking for a high today of 63 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now, as we do, to the Fox Business Report.
And this is the Fox Business Report. Stocks open mixed. The Nasdaq up on Thursday. Investors are looking at the bright spots for 2 companies that reported a slump in business in the recent quarter. Boeing CEO David Calhoun believes the FAA will approve its strategy to improve quality. Boeing lost money in the period, but not as much as Wall Street was anticipating. Boeing shares opened up 3.5%. Investors are encouraged by Tesla's plans to launch a new, more affordable Model 2 car and a robo-taxi. Tesla's order weakened as demand for EVs softened and it was dealing with an attack on its Berlin plant. shares are up nearly 13%. Toy maker Hasbro is reporting solid progress in its turnaround efforts. Hasbro shares are up 10%. That SureFox Business Report includes Persona invested in you.
Hi, I'm Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel. Financial advisors, let's face it, if you're not growing your practice, you're losing market share. Stifel is a growing, entrepreneurial, advisor-centric firm built for successful advisors like you. There's a reason why 148 financial advisors joined Stifel last year. Come join us and find out why Stifel is the firm where success meets success. Visit www.choosestifel.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NY.
Advertise with KAHI Radio, the voice of the foothills, and you'll reach those who matter most, your local customers or your local business. Here's Fred Penny of Penny & Associates.
Heading to Vegas. Congrats. Stay tuned. We're going to see everybody how to grow in business, and Simon's going to learn. I'll learn about insurance. He's not invited. About Vegas. I got my...
Start your local advertising today.
And it is Adam. What are we supposed to be doing? I got a little distracted here. Oh my gosh, getting back into the swing of things. Taking a look outside at traffic right now. It's been a few days since I've done this. So, okay, here we go. Taking a look at our roadways right now. 80 westbound if you're heading into Sacramento right now. Slowing around Greenback and Madison. As we would expect this time of day as you're heading towards Sacramento. If you're commuting down there, Cap City Freeway, slow and go all the way down to Sacramento. 80 westbound over to I-5. Looking pretty good right now. Not too bad. I-5 northbound if you're heading to the airport. Looking good. Slowing around the 99 interchange there around Airport Boulevard. So heads up. Give yourself some extra time. I-5 southbound coming into Sacramento. That is a different story. That is really slow. 80 slow on the other side of Sacramento if you're heading out to the Bay Area around West Capitol Avenue. Otherwise, up and down the hill, going up the mountains here on 80, looking real good if you're heading towards the mountains or over to Nevada or farther today. 50 eastbound and westbound, looking pretty good. Slowing through Placerville a little bit, as it normally does this time of day, and looking good westbound coming into Sacramento, slowing down around Watt Avenue, as we would expect if you're going all the way into Sacramento today. Back with more right after this.
Tune in to the KAHI Corral every Saturday at 7 a.m. here on the Voice.
Probably shouldn't look at Instagram. I forget where the heck I'm at. Oh, well. Wait, what?
Listen in to Audio Game, and you'll never know what you're gonna find. Everything from
Pets in the studio? Oh, yeah, that's a real thing.
to the advice you've come to count on. So join Connie and a cast of thousands on the KAHI Corral Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. here on 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all
In the world at KAHI.com. 18 minutes past the top of the hour. It is 8:18. Coming up in our next segment, sports ball. Giants versus the Mets. Spoiler alert, Giants win. Yastrzemski's 3 RBI day didn't hurt at all. Also, Logan Webb. How about that guy? Kid from Rockland. Tearing it up. Got a bunch of scoreless innings. That is awesome. We'll have that coming back here in just a little bit. Also, don't forget, Mary Jane show is on KAHI again. She's got a new show, Pop Talk in Search of the Truth. You can catch that Saturday mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. or Sunday nights from 9 to 11 p.m. or anytime, streaming on KAHI.com, audio on demand. Back now to America's First News. I'll see you back here at the bottom of the hour.
The United Nations called Tuesday for a clear, transparent, and credible investigation of mass graves uncovered at 2 major hospitals in war-torn Gaza that were raided by Israeli troops. Earlier Tuesday, UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk said he was horrified by the destruction of the Shifa Medical Center in Nasser Hospital. Spokesperson
What was I going to do? I'm going to edit some audio. That's what I'm going to do.
Of Al-Nasser Medical Complex and Al-Shifa Medical Complex, and the reports of the discovery of mass graves in and around facilities. And we call for independent, effective, transparent investigations into the deaths. Given the prevailing climate of impunity, this should include international investigators. Hospitals are entitled to very special
protection under international humanitarian law. And let's be clear, the intentional killing of civilians, detainees, and others who are of the combat is a war crime. We are stressing the need for international investigations. There's a history here of impunity for gross violations, and so many of them have gone undetected and unreported on. So we feel the need to raise the alarm, because clearly there have been multiple bodies discovered. We don't know how many. There are reports that rights law and international humanitarian law, and these need to be subjected to further investigations.
U.S. State Department spokesperson Vendit Patel called the reports of mass graves at hospitals incredibly troubling and said U.S. officials have asked the Israeli government for information. The Israeli military said its forces exhumed bodies that Palestinians burned earlier as part of its search for the remains of hostages captured by Hamas during its October 7th attack that triggered the war. The military said bodies weren't examined in a respectful manner. Those not belonging to the Israeli hostages were returned to their place. About $26 billion of the $95 billion foreign aid package the Senate passed overnight will support Israel and provide humanitarian relief for people in Gaza. About $4 billion of it would be dedicated to replenishing Israel's missile defense systems. More than $9 billion of the total will go toward humanitarian assistance. U.S. Special Envoy to Middle East Humanitarian Aid David Satterfield was asked if the U.S. is satisfied with Israel's response after it promised 3 weeks ago to allow aid to flow following the killing of aid workers with the World Central Kitchen.
I'm not going to give you a grade. Did they get an A+ in a review? We are in the constant process of monitoring, assessing, facilitating, supporting progress towards the goals the president set. This is not a gotcha test. At 2 p.m. on the 7th of May, will Israel pass or not? This is a set of requirements to help the people of Gaza and humanitarian workers whose role is vital in facilitating assistance. Progress is being made, but I am not going to stand here and give you a grade on that. More needs to be done.
Meanwhile, an independent review of the UN agency helping Palestinian refugees found that Israel never expressed concern over anyone on the staff list it's received annually since 2011, after Israel alleged that a dozen employees with UNRWA participated in Hamas's attack. Former French Minister of Foreign Affairs Catherine Colonna headed the review group. She said Israel hasn't shown any evidence for its allegations.
I would like to say first that Iraq plays an indispensable and irreplaceable role in the region. And this must be said clearly. Let's start from that. Actually, you probably have a more developed system than other UN organizations or agencies, which is a necessity considering the very difficult environment, complex and difficult situation in which they operate, and the uniqueness of their mission. There's always room for improvement, and some issues related to neutrality persist. This is why this mission was created.
Israel stood by its allegation following the report calling it flawed. The Israel-Hamas war was sparked by the unprecedented October 7th raid into southern Israel, in which Hamas militants killed around 1,200 people and abducted around 250 hostages. Israel said militants are still holding around 100 hostages and the remains of more than 30 others. Veteran tabloid publisher David Pecker testified Tuesday. He pledged to be Donald Trump's eyes and ears during the 2016 presidential campaign, recounting how he promised the then candidate he would help suppress harmful stories and even arrange to purchase the silence of a doorman. Prosecutors say the secret handshake illegally influenced the election, with the Inquirer's stories that smeared Trump's opponents and leveraged his connections to suppress stories, including Stormy Daniels' claim of an affair. Pecker's testimony Tuesday followed a hearing earlier in the day in which prosecutors urged Judge Juan Merchan to hold Trump in contempt and fine him $1,000 for each of 10 social media posts that they said violated an earlier gag order, barring attacks on witnesses, jurors, and others involved in the case.
Well, I think the gag order is totally in the Constitution. I'm not allowed to talk to people who are allowed to talk about me. So they can talk about me, they can say whatever they want, they can lie. But I'm not allowed to say anything. I just have to sit back and look at why a conflicted judge has ordered me to have a gag order. I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like this. I'd love to talk to you people. I'd love to say everything that's on my mind. But I'm restricted because I have a gag order. And by the way, this trial is all by, this is all by and they're keeping me in a courtroom that's freezing, by the way, in a courtroom all day long. Well, he's out campaigning. He's out campaigning, and I'm here in the courtroom, sitting here, sitting up as straight as I can all day long, because you know what? It's a very unfair situation.
Trump, in fact, is allowed to defend himself. He's just not allowed to disparage or threaten individuals involved in the case. And the case is actually from the Southern District of New York, not the Justice Department. Trump's 34 felony count arise from reimbursements that prosecutors say Trump's company made to Michael Cohen for hush money payments, and that were falsely recorded as legal expenses. Republican Senator Mitt Romney didn't pull any punches when asked about the case.
Made their own assessment of President Trump's character, and so far as I know, you don't pay someone $130,000 not to have sex with you.
A conviction would not preclude Trump from becoming president again, but because it is a state case, he would not be able to pardon himself if found guilty. He's repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. After years of attempts to ban the Chinese-owned TikTok app, including by former President Donald Trump, a measure won congressional approval and is on its way to President Joe Biden's desk for signature. It gives Beijing-based parent company ByteDance 9 months to sell the company, with a possible additional 3 months if a sale is in progress. If it doesn't, TikTok will be banned. FBI Director Christopher Wray told NBC's Lester Holt there are 3 parts of the platform representing a threat.
So that for us manifests itself in 3 specific ways. It has to do with the data, it has to do with the recommendation algorithm, it has to deal with the software. The data, we're talking about the ability to control or collect data on millions and millions of users and to use it for all sorts of influence operations like driving their AI efforts, which are not remotely constrained by the rule of law.
Are they doing that now, or that's simply they have the capability?
What I would say to you is that they are currently attempting to steal our AI and hack American technology every day. When it comes to TikTok, we are concerned very specifically about the risks that poses, given China's well-demonstrated playbook.
TikTok has seen some success with court challenges in the past, but it has never sought to prevent federal legislation from going into effect. If it's not sold, TikTok will have to disappear from Apple and Google's app stores. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media at Matt Ray Talk. More on the way on this Wednesday morning, including a look at sports. The NBA playoffs continue. You've got America's first news. Good morning.
Breaking news first. America's first news with Matt Ray.
Hot Shot Secret. We share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Diesel fuel cetane levels.
the cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Now, time for another Otis Advisory. Hello, kidding. Have you heard about shrinkage? Everybody's talking about it. I think it used to be called stealing, but that was way too honest and could be offensive to simple organisms. Oh, better call the ambulance. But now, walking out with whatever you like is just shrinkage. That's supposed to make the junk culture people feel better about themselves, but they still won't want to go RV. But at least they'll be more comfortable while high on the hog and spray painting their name on some more train cars.
All right, here we go. Sports ball.
Sorry now, but maybe you haven't
NBA.
paid attention and still
A's are gonna play.
was what happens just before.
Cool.
Ooh,
Ooh,
this is different.
Set the
Remember
timer.
now, they don't have shrinkage in China or Mexico or even a lot of vodka.
Boot camp
Maybe
in
they just wash
Dallas.
your hands if you're caught
2 years
shrinking
ago.
something into your bag. Look, there are 2 kinds of pills you take for pain.
2 years
One
ago?
works
3
on
years
the
ago?
cause, the other just tells your brain to ignore it so you don't care anymore. So next time you're in the mall, run into the Ranchero King all-you-can-eat buffet, the one with the weight loss clinic right store. Ask yourself, is anybody really paying attention anymore? We just got to
Are
let it
they?
all just shrink and wrinkle. This your Uncle Otis, and my pronouns are 22 caliber, 38 caliber, and
So,
45
this guy.
caliber. That was cool. I'll see you at the Peace March.
And good Wednesday morning to you, Wednesday, April 24th. And it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:30 a.m. here at, you know what it is, FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. Hey, good morning to you, Auburn. Currently 53 degrees right now. Looking outside the beautiful KAHI studio right now, it is cloudy outside, and we are looking for a high today in Auburn of 66 degrees. All right, we need to turn it over now to the sports ball music. That's right. Let's check out on the scores. We're going to start on the NBA on the hardwood. It is postseason. We have the Mavericks versus the Clippers. Mavericks do their thing. They win that one 96-93. This is the on the West. This is round one game, first round game two. Series is tied at 1-1 there. Pacers versus the Bucks. This is in the East, first round game two series tied at 1-1. Pacers win that one 125-108 over the Bucks. Suns versus the Timberwolves. This is the West first round on the West game two. Minnesota leads this one 2-0. Timberwolves win that one 105-93 over the Suns. Heading over to the major leagues now. Mets versus the Giants. Yastrzemski, yes, 3 RBI day powers Giants to a victory. The Giants win over the Mets 5-1 there. Angels versus the Orioles. Angels win that one 7-4. Padres versus the Rockies. Rockies win that one 7-4. A's versus the New York Yankees. Yankees win that one 4-3. You can catch the Yankees and the A's again here on KAHI today. We've got an afternoon game. Radio start time today is 3:25 p.m. Game time at 4:05 p.m. So catch all of the action. The A's. Yay for the A's. A's versus the Yankees coming up here today, this afternoon. 3:25 radio start time. 4:05 is game time. Going locally here, I've got the Auburn Journal in my hot little hands here. We've got this Saturday Placer Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony to take place on April 27th. The 8th Placer High School Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be held Saturday, April 27th in the school's iconic Earl Crab Gym. A pre-ceremony reception begins at 6 p.m., followed by the induction ceremony at 7 p.m. Being inducted are multi-sport athlete Jim Yakota, 1950, football and track star Terry Spivey, that was 1981, speedway racer Bart Bass, 1985, skier Seth McAdam, 1992, and volleyball stalwart Corey Reichs in 2007. The 1971 and 72 wrestling team and women's volleyball coach Jennifer Wright will also be inducted into the Placer Athletic Hall of Fame. Again, that's this Saturday, April 27th, pre-ceremony at 6 p.m., followed by the induction ceremony at 7 p.m. Lots of good stuff. Back with your KAHI weather right after this.
You're looking for. Right now, you'll find deals on microplastics right for spring and summer. Women's and men's t-shirts by Life is Good, Old Guys Cool, and Laid Back. And men's Hawaiian-made Aloha shirts, just right for the warmer weather. Everything you need is all in one store, right here in Auburn. McCullough's Department Store in the Auburn Town Center, right off the bell.
Wednesday morning, I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies. A nice day today, 65 to 70. Light southwest winds. Mostly clear overnight, light winds in the mid-upper 40s. You'll be in the low 60s with sunshine, a few scattered clouds on Thursday. A weather front coming in Friday with clouds and showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, the high about 60 to 65. The best news is it'll clear for the weekend.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, gang. That is going to do it for me today. We'll finish out the hour with America's First News and the O'Reilly Report. Until we see each other again tomorrow morning, remember, as always, to be kind, be honest, be yourself. And remember, you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Kapow!
$95 billion package for aid for Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine.
There we go.
Delays and contentious debate over how involved the U.S. should be in foreign wars. It passed on a 79-18 vote late Tuesday.
Okay, thanks for joining in today. See you later, and bye.